video game industry has had many developers reach legendary status in the eyes of fans because of their created titles. For Shigeru Miyamoto, it was Mario. For Masahiro Sakurai, it was Kirby in Smash Bros. And for Yuji Naka, it was Sonic the Hedgehog. But unlike Miyamoto and Sakurai, Naka didn't retain the goodwill of the fans of the franchise he created. Issues with Sega and Square Enix, among many other things, have completely tarnished the reputation of the father of Sonic. Naka began his journey with Sega in 1984, making small games never really got too much attention in the Sega Master System era. When Sega was looking for a new mascot to replace Alex Kidd for a true Mario competitor, Naka stepped up as the lead programmer for the upcoming project Mr. Needlemouse. A prototype of a fast-paced platformer would impress the higher-ups at Sega, who then went on to hold a design contest for what the character would look like. This is where Naoto Oshima enters the story, creating the iconic classic design of the character. Oshima and Naka would become linked for the rest of their careers from this point forward. Eventually, the game came out, and it was a smash success. Sega finally had the rival for Mario they were looking for, and it was all thanks to Naka and Oshima. But this success left a bad taste in Yuji Naka's mouth. He felt he had poor treatment from Sega in the development, not even receiving a proper credit in the game, having to hide it behind a cheat code under the alias YU2. Naka would leave Sega until Mark Cerny hired Naka to the Sega Technical Institute, the American division. Naka joined with the promise of creative freedom and a higher salary. Naka brought a group of developers from Sonic 1 to the Sega Technical Institute, and thus work on Sonic the Hedgehog 2 began. But this is where issues truly started to arise in the story of Naka. Language barriers became a thing. It was as a half American, half Japanese team working on Sonic 2. Some American developers would come out years later noting that Naka was a pain in the ass who was uninterested in working with the Americans. As soon as the game was released, Naka would refuse to work with the Americans afterwards, going on to form a Japanese-only team at the Technical Institute to make Sonic 3. A McDonald's deal would cause the team to rush the game and split into two parts so the complete vision of Sonic 3 and Knuckles could be finished. After Sonic 3 and Knuckles was done, Naka would leave the Technical Institute, returning to Japan as a producer at Sega with the formation of Sonic Team with Naka at the helm. Naka wanted to work on a brand new project for the Sega Saturn, which would become Nights into Dreams, a game fondly remembered by players but a nightmare for the developers behind Sonic Extreme. The team behind Extreme wanted to use the Nights engine to speed up the process of making Sonic's first leap into 3D. They had engine access for a while before Naka allegedly refused to allow them to use the engine, threatening to quit Sega as a whole should they use it. Meaning the Extreme developers had to work on a brand new engine from scratch, which led to a lot of crunch time for developers, leading to many ending up being sick for a game that never got released. In 1998, Naka and members of Sonic Team would visit the Sega of America office, touring the games being developed there, most notably Geist Force for the Dreamcast. Naka spoke in Japanese to his team about what will be incorporated from this project into future Sonic games. Some members of the Geist Force team understood Japanese, hearing what Naka said, leading to them quitting on the spot, which led to the cancellation of Geist Force. Naka's reputation with his colleagues was not in a great spot, and it would only get worse in the development of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Naka would walk out of Sega, severely hurting the project even more, contributing to the disaster that nearly killed the entire franchise. Naka created his own studio following the Sega departure, Probe. Probe wasn't very successful, only getting a few Wii games that weren't notable. But what was notable was Naka and Oshima reuniting at Square Enix in 2018, after not having worked together since the original Sonic Adventure. The pair began working on a new game in a Square subsidiary known as Balan Company. They had a vision in mind for a game called Balan Wonderworld. The pair would unveil the game on Square Enix's YouTube channel, but Balan became a disaster very quickly. Naka claims to have been removed as director 6 months before the game's release, with many other internal conflicts during its development. Naka would sue Square Enix with the case going nowhere. On July 5th of 2022, Naka would tweet out a photo of for the 26th anniversary of Nights into Dreams. The photo had Oshima blacked out, suggesting the pair of falling out during the development of Balan Wonderworld. It only got worse for Naka as on November 17th of 2022, he would be arrested for insider trading, presumably of upcoming Square Enix projects. He would later be arrested for a second time on December 7th and be indicted of the charges. It is a real shame how Yuji Naka fell from one of the creators of a gaming icon to what he's become today. If you liked the video, please subscribe and drop a like as it really helps with the channel, and thank you very much for watching.